I've been very late to do a prediction on this Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou fight because at first I was thinking, what's the point? I just didn't think this fight is going to be that competitive, so that's why I didn't do a video on it. But I'm here to give you guys content on the biggest fights in both MMA and boxing, so I couldn't let this go. Now that I've watched Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury again, and I watched Anthony Joshua's last couple of fights again, I actually don't know how exactly this fight is going to go because it does depend on which version of Anthony Joshua shows up. If he shows up like he did against Otto Wallin last time, then this should be a dominant victory for Anthony Joshua. I would pick him to maybe lose 2 rounds at the very most, pick Francis Ngannou apart, go in there, fight very jab heavy, pick Francis Ngannou apart with the right hand when he sees the opportunity, let loose with the body shots when they get up close, and if he's able to put Francis Ngannou down, brilliant. If not, just take him out to a wide points decision. However, if he shows up like he did against Robert Helenius, then Francis Ngannou has got a good chance. Not as good of a chance as he had against a shot-worn Tyson Fury who showed up to the press conference weeks before the fight when they officially announced it looking like this. But Ngannou would have a pretty decent chance because the way Anthony Joshua looked against Robert Helenius, it looked like he was scared to death to let his hands go. But what was the reason for that? Was it just because Anthony Joshua had a night worse than most? Is it because of the opponent change? Who knows? Because the way he showed up against Helenius, who was shop-worn and coming in with no training camp, against Otto Wallin, a guy who could be tricky when he wanted to be, was night and day. So, I don't know exactly what version of AJ is going to show up. Is he suddenly finding his groove with Ben Davison? Another thing to keep in mind is the fact that Francis Ngannou, for all of his technical deficiencies, hits incredibly hard. So is Anthony Joshua, who has known to be gun-shy in the past. Again, we saw it 2 fights ago against a shop-worn Robert Helenius. Is he going to feel gun-shy when he just tastes a whiff of Francis Ngannou's power? When Ngannou swings and misses and Anthony Joshua feels the gust of wind, is he going to start thinking, okay, I got to be careful with this guy. I should just go in there and throw a million jabs and maybe the occasional right hand. Either way, I can't let this guy even get within meters of touching me. Is he going to feel that way? Because if so, we could be in for a dull fight. And a dull fight is going to lead to Anthony Joshua, who has been known to overthink things in the past, think to himself, I can't let this go on. I've got to stop this guy. And Francis Ngannou is going to want Anthony Joshua to think that way. Because Francis Ngannou's best opportunity is to get Anthony Joshua in a position where he is thinking more than he needs to. He's not confident to let his hands go because a cuffing shot from Francis Ngannou could hurt Anthony Joshua, or it could at least stun him, and we've seen Anthony Joshua not respond that well when he does get stunned. So there are a lot of things that could potentially make this fight interesting, but I want to state this early on in the video. I do not think this fight is going to be that competitive. I believe Anthony Joshua is going to go in, use his jab a lot. I don't believe he's going to be as flat-footed as he was against Robert Helenius. I think he's going to be moving around the ring more, and as time goes on, Francis Ngannou is going to have a hard time trying to put his punches together because Ngannou was never the best technical boxer in MMA. He was a guy who had the confidence and the coordination to throw big shots out of nowhere, like the uppercut that he landed on Alistair Overeem. A long-range uppercut like that is not something you would expect a high-level fighter to throw. The way he attacked Jairzinho Rozenstruik by just walking forward, squaring up, and just laid him out with one shot, these are not things, again, you would train professional fighters to do. But Ngannou hits so hard, he's fast enough, and he, again, has great coordination for a big man, that he can throw these shots and rely on them without having to go out there and play a technical match. So, Ngannou, against Tyson Fury, he was able to, in my opinion, win the majority of the first 5 rounds by boxing with Tyson Fury, and when Tyson Fury is trying to get warmed up and figure his opponent out, Ngannou was just able to throw a long-range shot, and because it was getting close to Fury, who wasn't moving that much because he couldn't, it would make Tyson Fury wary, and when Tyson Fury thought, I need to take the fight to this guy. Ngannou's thought, okay, you want to get up close with me? You want to get rough with me? No problem. I wrestle all day. And Ngannou was the physically stronger guy because, again, Tyson Fury showed up to the announcement of the press conference, the announcement of the fight at the press conference looking like this. Anthony Joshua doesn't look like that. Anthony Joshua looks like Francis Ngannou. They are both consummate professionals. So, again, talking about long range, Anthony Joshua's conditioning is going to be far greater than Tyson Fury's was. So he's not going to be slow and as hittable on the outside as Tyson Fury, which I know is crazy to say because Fury used to be a defensive master for a heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua not so much. But again, Francis Ngannou, and I mean this, he didn't have to do anything hugely sophisticated to buzz Tyson Fury or catch him on the outside. He just had to throw his shots at a, again, reasonable pace because Tyson Fury was just standing there and wasn't able to move that much. Anthony Joshua right now has quicker feet than Tyson Fury, so he's going to be able to move. And I think Anthony Joshua, even though he doesn't have an amazing defense, is going to be able to know in the ring, okay, I just need to move my head a little bit this way or that way and put my hands up to my chin when Francis Ngannou throws his shots, because Ngannou's used to hitting people with tiny little MMA gloves. Boxing gloves, again, not so much. He is going to have to land clean on Anthony Joshua, like he managed to land clean on Tyson Fury with that knockdown, in order to hurt him. And Joshua does not keep his hands down as low as Tyson Fury. He, again, when he fights confidently, knows how to break fighters down with the jab. And, again, his body shots are far better than Tyson Fury's. So I do not expect Francis Ngannou to have Anthony Joshua hesitant and gun-shy on the outside like he had with Tyson Fury. As the fight goes on, and Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, has relied on his jab, which he will do. Anthony Joshua is not hesitant to put on slower performances if need be. After the first few rounds where he's relied on his jab and presented himself as a difficult target for Francis Ngannou, I believe he is then going to be stepping in with his right hand more. Ngannou is going to be the one thinking, unsure how to let his shots go and how to catch Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua will be stepping in with body shot combinations. And I do not expect Francis Ngannou to go down. I would not be shocked in the slightest if this fight went the distance. I'm almost prepared to pick Anthony Joshua to win the fight on points. My gut instinct is that Anthony Joshua is going to go in and win this fight 8-2, wide points decision. Would not be shocked if he's able to stop Francis Ngannou, but I'm going with a decision. For Francis Ngannou to win, Anthony Joshua needs to go in, make a mistake, lead off with the right hand without setting it up with the jab, think that he's going to bulldoze Francis Ngannou, and then get caught on the outside when he's unable to put his shots together as cleanly as he wants to. He needs to underestimate him like Tyson Fury clearly did. I believe he is going to win this fight very decisively, and like I said before, Joseph Parker versus Zhilei Zhang is the real main event for me. Let me know what you guys think down below about the breakdown. Who do you think is going to win and how? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more.